In a small town divided by a river, two distinct communities thrived, or rather, one thrived while the other struggled. On the northern bank, grand houses lined the streets, their windows glowing with warmth from within. Children played in well maintained parks, schools brimmed with resources, and businesses thrived, offering endless opportunities. Meanwhile, on the southern bank, families lived in cramped, dilapidated houses. Schools were underfunded, jobs were scarce, and the streets were quiet. Not with peace, but with resignation. This town is not just a place, it's a metaphor for the global economy. It captures the essence of inequality and poverty, two forces that shape societies and define the futures of millions. Inequality refers to the uneven distribution of income, wealth, and opportunities, while poverty is the deprivation of basic needs. These issues are interconnected, perpetuating cycles that are difficult to escape. Imagine a young boy named Daniel growing up on the southern bank. His mornings began with a long walk to fetch water because his home lacked basic plumbing. At school, he shared one textbook with three other children, struggling to learn in a dilapidated classroom. His parents worked long hours at a nearby factory, earning barely enough to cover food and rent. They lived paycheck to paycheck with no room for savings or dreams of a better future. Across the river, a girl named Emma lived a very different life. Her mornings started with a hot breakfast, followed by a short ride to a well-funded school where each student had their own laptop. Her parents were professionals, her mother a lawyer, her father a doctor, who saved for her college education and encouraged her aspirations. For Emma, the future was a canvas of endless possibilities. This stark divide highlights the impact of inequality. When resources, education, and opportunities are concentrated in the hands of a few, entire segments of the population are left behind. Economic inequality creates barriers that limit upward mobility, trapping individuals and families in cycles of poverty. Daniel, despite his potential, faces a steep climb, while Emma's path is paved with support. But why does inequality exist? Part of it stems from differences in access to resources. Think about how wealth accumulates. Landowners collect rent, business owners earn profits, and investors grow their portfolios. Those who already have assets can leverage them to create more wealth, widening the gap between the rich and the poor. Meanwhile, workers like Daniel's parents, who rely solely on wages, struggle to get ahead. Globalization also plays a role. While it has lifted millions out of poverty, it has also widened income gaps. Imagine a multinational corporation setting up a factory in Daniel's town. It creates jobs, but at low wages that barely support families. The profits, however, flow to shareholders in faraway cities, deepening inequality. Another driver is technological advancement. Automation and artificial intelligence have revolutionized industries, creating high-paying jobs for skilled workers like Emma's parents, while displacing unskilled workers like Daniel's. The result? A growing divide between those who adapt to change and those left behind. Now, let's shift the focus to poverty. Poverty is not just a lack of money. It's a multidimensional challenge. It means limited access to healthcare, education, and safe living conditions. It means living with uncertainty, where an illness or job loss can spiral into catastrophe. For Daniel's family, poverty is not just an economic issue, it's a daily struggle for dignity. Poverty exists in both absolute and relative forms. Absolute poverty refers to living below a minimum standard of subsistence, unable to afford basic needs like food, shelter, and clothing. Relative poverty, on the other hand, compares individuals to the average standard of living in their society. Daniel's family might not be starving, but their inability to afford the same opportunities as their neighbours on the northern bank creates social exclusion. To tackle inequality and poverty, governments and organisations employ various strategies. Social welfare programs provide a safety net, offering financial assistance, food support, and housing subsidies. Progressive taxation redistributes wealth, ensuring that higher income earners contribute more to public services. Investments in education and healthcare aim to level the playing field, giving children like Daniel a fair shot at success. However, these solutions come with challenges. Welfare programs can be expensive, straining government budgets. Redistribution policies may face resistance, as some argue they discourage hard work and innovation. And addressing systemic issues like discrimination, corruption, and unequal power dynamics requires long-term commitment and societal change. Imagine if the town's leaders decided to build a bridge across the river, connecting the two communities. They invest in schools on the southern bank, train local workers, and create affordable housing. Over time, families like Daniel's begin to thrive. The town's economy grows stronger as more people contribute their skills and talents. Emma and Daniel, once divided by the river, now work together to build a better future for their shared community. This vision is not just a dream, it's a possibility. Reducing inequality and poverty benefits everyone. It fosters social cohesion, reduces crime, and boosts economic growth. When individuals like Daniel are given opportunities, they become contributors to society, breaking the cycle of poverty and inspiring others to do the same. The story of inequality and poverty is not just about numbers or policies. It's about real people, their struggles, and their potential. By addressing these issues, we move closer to a world where everyone, regardless of which side of the river they were born on, can achieve their dreams.